Welcome to the Foundry by Forge College. All right, let's just dive right into today's explainer. If you have ever tracked a package online only to see it rejected at customs, or sent back to the sender, or worst of all, just lost in the mail entirely, you know exactly how frustrating shipping logistics can be. Well, in the Web3 world, we have our own massive digital shipping disasters, right? We're talking mismatched nonces causing replays, bad signatures, clunky gas estimations. It's a mess. But today, we're going to fix that. We are looking at the concrete integration patterns for ERC-4337 and smart wallets that guarantee your digital package arrives exactly as intended.
So here is our flight plan for today. We'll start with a welcome to smart wallets, then meet the user operation, compare wallets versus bundlers, navigate the strict entry point, and finally, build our signing adapter. Let's get right to it.
Section 1. Welcome to Smart Wallets, Bridging Intent to Execution.
Now, to understand how we build forward, we kind of have to look back for a second. Remember these concrete failure modes from our previous discussions? These are the practical constraints and, frankly, the shipping hazards that shape exactly how we must integrate today. When a smart wallet tries to transform a user's high-level intent, like say, I want to swap this token, into an actual on-chain reality, it really runs a gauntlet. A mismatched nonce? Your transaction is immediately rejected or, even worse, replayed. A signature format mismatch? That's an instant failure. And those UX-driven mistakes around paymasters and gas, those can leave your users completely stranded. These aren't just abstract theories. These are the harsh realities that dictate our integration patterns moving forward.
That brings us to Section 2. Meet the user operation, the highly secure package.
Let's introduce the core data structure that acts as the secure shipping box for our entire digital pipeline. You can really think of the user operation as this incredibly secure package. It holds your exact intent, heavily bubble-wrapped in cryptographic security, just waiting for someone else to pick it up and deliver it. This is the central object in ERC-4337 flows. What it does is fundamentally separate the what the user actually wants to do, from the how it eventually gets bundled and executed on the blockchain.
Let's move to Section 3, Wallets versus Bundlers, the division of labor.
Now, looking at this breakdown of responsibilities, we can see exactly who does what. To get our secure package shipped, we have to strictly divide the labor between the sender, the one packing the box, and the delivery service that's actually paying the tolls along the way. Notice how the smart wallet is responsible for the sender, the nonce, and the call data. That is the user's pure intent and identity, right there. But for things like pre-verification gas and max feed per gas, the bundler steps in. The bundler is the one paying for the gas, and obviously by gas we mean network execution fees, not a burrito stop on the highway. Simply put, the wallet packs the box, and the bundler figures out the messy logistics of getting it on-chain.
So the absolutely crucial point here is this strict boundary. Intent and authorization sit firmly with the smart wallet, while execution and gas are delegated entirely to the bundler. And this brilliantly illustrates why ERC-4337 is such a game changer. By drawing this line in the sand, we drastically reduce those failure modes we talked about earlier. If a gas estimate is wrong, it doesn't invalidate the user's underlying signature or intent. It just means the bundler needs to tweak the logistics. We are successfully isolating the user's core action from the unpredictable mechanics of blockchain state.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, the strict entry point, navigating the customs officer. Okay, so our package has been packed by the wallet and picked up by the bundler. But before it can actually execute, it has to face the entry point. I absolutely love this analogy. The entry point is like an extremely strict customs officer who will flat out reject your package if a single tiny detail is out of order. And their absolute favorite rule is canaticalization. Now, canaticalization is really just a fancy word for filling out the customs form in the exact non-negotiable order requested. If the form says first name, then last name, you cannot swap them. If you don't use the required blue pen, the entry point customs officer deducts points, stamps rejected on it, and throws it out. It is a highly specific, deterministic byte encoding. No exceptions. Let's look at exactly what this customs officer is checking on that form. The entry point runs through these specific verification steps to prevent complete chaos. First, it recomputes the hash over those canonicalized fields we just talked about. And notice that it deliberately excludes the mutable bundler-only fields, because remember, gas prices might fluctuate, but the user's core intent shouldn't. Then it appends the chain ID and the entry point address context. This is vital. It prevents someone from maliciously taking your package meant for the Ethereum mainnet and delivering it on a testnet or some different chain entirely. Finally, it verifies the signature against the sender. It's a rigorous, totally unyielding checkpoint.
Section 5. Building the signing adapter, creating the perfect label.
To navigate those incredibly strict entry point rules, we need to build a signing adapter that prints the exact right shipping label for our package. And we are going to do this smartly. If you've taken any of the coding programs at Forge College, you already know that modern development totally embraces AI. This vibe coding workflow makes testing your absolute best friend. Step 1, we prompt the AI to scaffold the boilerplate TypeScript for a user operation. Step 2, we test it locally to verify the signature digest. And step 3, which is the real secret sauce here, we intentionally introduce a mutation to simulate a mismatch, watch it break, and refine it. Let's see what that code actually looks like in practice.
And here it is. This specific line of pseudocode shows the decisive moment of canonicalization. Look closely at how we're encoding this. We are packing the fields, sender, nonce, init code, call data, in the precise, non-negotiable order that the entry point demands. This isn't just a loose object where keys can be in any random order. It is a rigid array of bytes. If your smart wallet adapter accidentally swaps the nonce and the init code here, the hash changes entirely and the entry point rejects the signature outright. This right here, this is the blue pen on the customs form.
So how do we guarantee this is bulletproof? Well, we test it by breaking it. First, we isolate the signing to a deterministic digest computation and verify that it matches the public key. But then, just like we discussed in our vibe coding workflow, we intentionally change the canonicalization order to simulate a mismatch. When you do this in your local tests, you will immediately observe the signature recovery fail. And honestly, that is fantastic. Seeing it fail locally proves exactly why this strict byte encoding is the most critical step in the entire integration pattern. It builds your confidence so that when your package finally hits the real network, you know the label is absolutely flawless.
So, we have successfully packed our user operation, navigated the division of labor, survived the strict entry point customs officer, and built a rock-solid signing adapter. The plumbing is flawless. But this leaves us with a massive final challenge. Your wallet now knows exactly how to sign, but how will your users actually interact with it? An adapter is really only as good as the interface built on top of it. Head over to forge.college to continue your Web3 education, because while our digital package is finally secure, the real revolution lies in designing an experience so seamless the user never even knows that strict customs officer is there. Keep building, and I'll see you in the next explainer.